Madeline and I are going to go visit this lady. And she lives right around the corner here at Bravo Estates. No, she doesn't. Actually, she lives in Mesa, Arizona.
Far.
It is. It's about 350 miles. Takes us about 5.5 hours to get there.
Without traffic.
Well, that all depends on the traffic. If there's traffic, it's going to take longer. We usually drive about 2.5 hours. We stop right near the Arizona state line in a city called Blythe. We have some soup, then we get back on the road and drive the next 2.5 hours. But what if I didn't know how to get there? How can I figure it out?
GPS.
GPS? Gippus? What is Gippus? I know many people. Is Gippus a person? What is Gippus? GPS.
GPS could be directions.
You're not sure? All right.
Your phone that Google Maps.
Google Maps. Ooh. Sounds like you folks know this stuff better than I do. Actually, yes, I have Google Maps on my phone. I can use that, but I also use an app called Waze. And what I do with Waze is I type in where I want to go, and it gives me a map and step-by-step directions on where I'm going to go. So let's say I get really confused after church today, and I forget where I live. I've got an entry on here called Home. So I push that.
We're ready to roll. Drive safe. In half a mile, turn right, and then turn right.
For some reason, it wants me to go this way on Mission Boulevard and turn right on on Glen Street. But sometimes I confuse the computer and I make a left-hand turn and go up Pedley Road. And then it'll say, rerouting, and it'll give me new directions. Or sometimes I just don't want to go the way it wants me to go. I've got a better way, or a way that I like better. And I think the application gets very grumpy with me sometimes. And then when I ask for directions, it leads me to a parking lot behind Stater Brothers or something like that. And says, you have arrived. But this is where you go. And it brings up all the different turns I have to make, and it shows me on here how I have to go. Imagine that I wanted to put Bethlehem in here as my destination. That would be a long trip. And in our gospel lesson, we had a story about some men who wanted to go see Jesus. These were men who studied the stars and told fortunes. They were magicians. They were also religious advisors to wealthy and important people. And they saw a star in the sky, a brand new star that they'd never seen before. And they said, oh look, there's a brand new star that we've never seen before. We know what that means. It means somebody important has just been born. So they went to their library and they took a look at all their religious documents, including the Jewish Bible. And they saw that there were prophecies in that Bible that spoke about a new king. In fact, we heard one of those prophecies in the Old Testament lesson this morning. Talk about a light shining in the darkness and people being drawn to the light. So they packed up all their stuff and they took off to find the new king. Took them a long time to get there. But when they did, they knelt down and they prayed and they worshiped this baby who was the new king, and they gave him very precious gifts. Gold, which is pretty important stuff, I see it advertised on the TV all the time. Frankincense, which is a substance that you can burn and it gives you a very pleasant smell. It's used during worship. In fact, there are some churches today that burn incense during worship. And myrrh, which is an oil that they use when somebody has died. And they spread that oil on them as part of the process before they're buried. Now they did all that because they thought Jesus was that king. Pretty important stuff. You too have the opportunity to travel and find Jesus and to share with him your gifts. So, Vince, how much gold do you have?
Not too much, but I can try to find some.
Try to find some. Okay. I remember there was a TV show growing up in New York. My mother will remember Soupy Sales. It was kind of a slapstick, silly TV show, kind of like Pee Wee Herman. But he got fired from his show because he was telling kids, go into mommy and daddy's bedroom, open their purses, take out all the green paper that's in there, and send it to me. In other words, send me all your parents' money. Tracy, you probably want to keep your gold and hide it. Because Vince is coming looking for it. And Kitty, how much myrrh and frankincense do you have? You don't have a supply of incense at home? Nah, I didn't think so. Well, actually, there's an even better gift that you can give Jesus. You know what it is? It's your heart.
Yeah.
And you can give him your love. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for loving us. Thank you for sending Jesus, who provides us with the directions we need to find you. Help us to search for you and to offer you the gift of our lives. And the congregation all said, Amen. Okay, you guys want back? We're going to sing the next hymn.